to our Sprint 6 presentation project, and today we'll be showing hospital data analysis using MySQL and Power BI. So our objective is to create a MySQL database and populate it with data. Then we have to install ODBC and then connect Power BI to make visuals in Power BI. What is Power BI? Power BI is a business analytics tool that simplifies data analysis by converting raw data into interactive reports and dashboards. It works with data from spreadsheets, databases, and cloud services, and is easily accessible on desktop, mobile, and the web. Some features of Power BI include data integration, which allows it to connect to 100 different data sources, Excel, Azure, Google Analytics, and etc. It has interactive visuals with depth, and we can make customizable dashboards with charts, graphs, slicers, and maps. It also has DAX formulas, which enables powerful custom calculations for more advanced data analysis. It has AI-powered insights, includes features like natural language and anomaly detection, and scheduled refreshes, which keeps dashboards automatically updated. So here's a visualization of what we're doing. So we have our database in MySQL, and we want Power BI to read it. So we use ODBC, which stands for Open Database Connector, to allow for Power BI to read from MySQL. And the neat thing about the Open Database Connector is that it's flexible, it's reusable, and it's standardized across multiple platforms and apps. Some challenges we had was we had trouble installing the MySQL ODBC connector. So what we did is we clicked the link on Power BI. So we would get an error message and it would say learn more. So when we click learn more, it sent us to the correct version of ODBC. So that we installed that one and our issues were resolved. We also had an issue filtering data. But we created an ERD diagram. So what this did is we connected all the tables together so that we made all that data easily filterable, so we can correctly provide a analysis of it. So within our data, we found that our peak patient visits are on Friday, so we can make more doctors work on Friday. For example, I know sometimes some doctors work only 2-3 days a week. So by making them work on Friday, we make sure all our patients are being treated. We found out that skin rash and asthma are most reported. And specifically for asthma, we found that it's mostly reported for age groups 0 to 18, which is an opportunity to raise awareness campaigns and inform the public. We also found that majority of our patients are aged 60 plus, so we can offer targeted service recommendations. Like, we know sometimes old people, they get sick easier, they fall a lot, so we can have more targeted services towards them. And then we also found out that the Midwest has the least amount of revenue and overall visits. So we can incentivize doctors to work there by, like for example, if they work there for 2 to 3 years, you can offer them a 25% debt reduction. And I'll hand it off to Maliki, who will show you the demo.
Thank you, Arno. Here is our demo for this project. First, we created a database in MySQL, and then these are the tables for the database, tables like doctors, patients, fees, visits, symptoms, so on. And after that, we put records, 100 records for each table. Then we came to Power BI here and loaded those records on the right here. These are the data Power BI access to MySQL database and read those records for us. Then we visualize those records. And before that, I'd like to show you the real-time refreshment like this. When you click here, you can see Power BI reading those tables in MySQL database. And then when we click here, you are seeing the ERD of the tables. And for the project, we connected doctors and the fees one to multiple relationship. And then we worked on this active doctors, and then we use this DAC formula on the top and define active doctors. Then we use this data and define average revenue per doctor, and then average revenue per visit, and then this is monthly earning and total earning, so on, and then total visit. And here, if you see this, this plot showing top 10 best earning doctors, and then here is a different location, and then visit season, and then earnings, and top 10 hospitals earning the best, and field in medical area like dermatologist, pediatrician, etc. And these are the KPIs. If you click here, there's a top earning doctor who is first 1037 doctor, earns 3 times more than average doctor's earning. Okay, now we are trying to push this data to Power BI service in cloud. And you are seeing same dashboard in Power BI service in cloud. And when you click here, it refreshes data. And then when you click here, it shows all the records in MySQL database. Then we visualize using Power BI desktop here. And we found a very interesting thing. For this project. First, we divided all the patient male and female like this. When you click male, the disease here, these are all different type of disease happens in male patient. And a younger male, as you can see, we have asthma, more asthma. And when they get older, and hypertension and arthritis become more popular among patients. And then this is visit location. Northeast is the top location visited, and then Midwest is least visited location. And this is a season of visit, and maximum peak happens in spring, like March, and then June. Probably those are the months male patient get sick easily. And when you click here, the demograph of this disease changes for female. And then female, also we have more asthma, younger female. And then older female, we have more different disease happen, like hypertension, as I said, arthritis still popular in female and male. And then, but visit region is different for male, female compared to male. Like Central, we have more female patients. Then still Midwest, we have least female visits. And then the maximum visit happens in April for female, and then August for female. So that's all for demo for this project. Thank you for listening. Any question is welcome. Feel free to ask any questions. Thank you.
Very good. So let's give a big round. So first of all, good job. A couple
Thank
of
you.
suggestions. In your Power BI, if you go to Power BI dashboard, desktop, sorry, the small thing, but it is visible. So you can see the page name. Page name is 1 and 2. You may want to give a proper name, like example in a doctor patient analysis, because when you're presenting, people like it. So question, like when you were doing this exercise, what was the key challenge? I know you mentioned about ODBC. Can you walk me through what kind of challenge you had and how did you resolve?
ODBC, I have 64-bit laptop, and this is a relatively new laptop, and I concentrated to download ODBC for 64-bit. And I after downloaded, Power BI did not recognize ODBC and then access to MySQL database did not connect for me. And I checked ChatGPT, input all the error ChatGPT, and I watched video, and I asked my team, Becky and Chad helped me a lot, but still the issue was there. Then what I did is I removed my Power BI software from my machine and cleaned everything related to Power BI. And I also reinstalled MySQL. Then things like went smoothly, and I felt like it's glitch, like happened without reason,
Okay.
no reason, I believe. So that's the
So
challenge
now,
I faced.
yeah, the next question is, let's say you did all analysis and now hospital members are watching your presentations. What two key recommendations you can give so they can grow the business?
Oh, good question. I think location, if you look at this, Northeast has more visit compared to Midwest. And Midwest probably, population is not that small compared to Northeast, but we have less visit. There might be, reason we have less visit at Midwest, less hospitals or what is that, transportation to the hospitals, or less doctors. So those are the elements we should focus to increase visits at Midwest.
That is one. What second advice would you give?
Second advice about patients, like if you go here, we have two peaks happen. One is in March and another one is August, and probably we need to increase doctors for this peak season, and then it will attract more patient, because when we have enough doctors, service will be better compared to less doctors, and then that's natural thing that may attract patient to these hospitals.
Very good. Good. A couple of things, like in your graph, maybe you can add data labels so your data become more readable.
Oh,
Because
I
right
see.
now someone
I
has to
see.
see, like, what
Yeah.
is the
It's easy for me. I can add here, but it's
I like
already
the color
labeled. All right.
combinations. It's very nice.
Uh-huh.
Hope you enjoy, like, how to install, how to connect and all. And most of the work you will be doing is like similar. Either you have database like Oracle, MySQL, it can be any database, but Power BI, either you have to download the software or driver and you can use
Uh-huh.
it. Power BI is very popular nowadays. So this experience you can
Yeah,
share.
thank you for this topic for internship. We enjoyed a lot. Actually, this is a real problem, and we are, going visiting hospitals, every of us, and then we are seeing the system was working. But I'm natural scientist, I'm physicist, but I didn't put any question how they built this. Now, through this project, I'm really happy I can build this, application for them. All right, thank you.
Right. Perfect. So you guys were on time, perfect timing, nothing wrong. So awesome job. Moving to the next
Thank
group.
you. Thank you. Let me stop sharing.
I think somebody is sharing their screen.
So Ms. Brady?
Bhumika wants to go, and then
You
can go.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, we are ready to go.
Thank you.
Using Power BI. So our team members are myself, Avni, Bhumika, Bijal, and Hetal. Let's look at our project objective for today. So the aim for this project is to improve hospital operations by delivering data-driven insights through effective database management and business analytics. So let's look for the key metrics that are covered today in our project. So the first is data set and setup. After that, database design, then key KPIs and insights, then look for the Power BI dashboard. And according to that, we found some business recommendations and long-term strategic actions. So let's look for the data set and the steps to set up the data set. So we use the sample data to create a realistic hospital database that can be used for analysis and building dashboard. So for that, the first step is data generation. So what is data generation? So it is a process of collection of raw data from various sources, and the data structuring is the process of optimizing raw data into logical format, and data population is to filling the structured database with actual data. For example, for that we can use like ETL, and data validation is the process of checking and ensuring the populated data is accurate, consistent, and complete. And after the validation, the data is clean, structured, and available for business intelligence tools. So let's look for the ERD diagram for our database. So here we can see the visit table connects overall all the tables using the one-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-many relationship. The database connects key entities like patients, doctors, and hospitals through a central visit table, while the fees table, symptoms, lab results, and patient records, it is these tables are giving the complete view of patient care. Next, yeah. Here the key KPIs and insights. So we have two type of KPIs here: the core performance metrics and financial performance metrics. So for the core performance metrics, the KPIs are total patients, doctors, visits, visit frequency per patient, and doctor to patient ratio. And for the financial performance, we can see total revenue collected, revenue per visit, weekly average revenue, and revenue per doctor. Looking into insights, consistent patient volume reflects strong and sustainable community engagement. Optimal doctor to patient ratio ensures quality care delivery and minimizes service delays. The robust average weekly revenue highlights stable financial performance and growth potential, and high visit count demonstrates operational efficiency and effective patient flow management. Next slide. So let's look into our Power BI dashboard. Bhumika, my friend Bhumika will walk you through the Power BI dashboard.
Okay. Thank you, Avni. Thank you, Avni, for providing us a brief overview of the project and the KPIs. Now let's look at our data source. We have our data in MySQL. So we created hospital database, and we have all the tables under that database, which is doctor, fees, hospital, labs, patient record table, symptoms, and the visit. And then we use the ODBC connected to get the data from the hospital from the MySQL. So as you can see here, we have all the tables loaded here. So to give a comprehensive overview of the hospital operations, we divide all the insights into the three categories, which is hospital performance, revenue, and the patient demographic. So now let's first look at the hospital performance insight. So these insights give us the real-time visibility of the patient activity, doctor performance, and key operations. So on the first left, we have all the dynamic filters, which for visit date, doctor, patient, which allows user to drill down the report based on their needs. Below that, we have key matrices, which is number of patients, number of visits, and the number of doctors. Next to that, we have a top doctor bar chart, which highlights the top performing doctor based on the number of visits. Next to that, we have frequent visitor charts, which shows the most engaged patients with the hospitals. On the right, we have a doctor-patient count pie chart, which shows the patient distribution per doctor, which helps hospital to manage the patient loads per doctor. Down to that, we have busiest days from the among the week, which is Friday, Saturday, and the Thursday. Next to that, we have a specialty visit chart, which shows that epidemiologists, infectious disease, and the internal medicine seeing the highest engagement among all the other departments. And at last, the common symptoms pie chart brings the patient concern into the focus. So we can see we have more patients with the cough symptoms and the fever symptoms. And in addition to this, we use the drill down functionality of the Power BI to drill down the patient detailed report. So by clicking on any patient from the frequent visitor chart, it instantly gives us the patient information. So for example, if we want to see the detail of Amy Valdez, and if we right click and drill through the patient details, it will open the patient information and the lab test result and the medical records for that patient. Now let's look into the patient demographic dashboard, which give us the clear view of the patient population. Starting at top, we have patient age distribution. Next to that, we have a gender distribution, which shows the percentage of male and female patients. Moving right, we have age group chart. Which highlights the patient age 36 to 60. We have a highest number of patients. On the bottom, we explore the patient payment method, which shows we have more patients with the insurance. Then we have patient diagnosis distribution. So we can see we have more patients for the viral infection and the fever. And next to that, we have patient growth chart, which shows like steady growth from 22 to 24, but there is a slight decline in 25. So that shows like we can strategize to address this issue in the future, so that our number of patients can go up. Now let's look into the hospital revenue insight. So starting on the left, we have similar filters as the performance insights, which is visit date, doctor, and the patient. And next to that, we have a key KPIs, which is total revenue, at 17.16K. Revenue per visit is 570.12, which highlights the strong earning per patient interactions. Weekly average revenue, which is 903.35, that help us to monitor the weekly steady performance over the period of time. Next, we have a weekly revenue trends, which that chart shows the week over week performance based for the revenue. So we can see ups and down, like September 9 to 15, that it's the highest revenue, and it's continuously going up and down. Next to that, we have a hospital location revenue based on the different locations of the hospital. Then we have payment mode insights and the fee collection trend chart. So that chart gives us a year-to-year look, which we hit like a highest at 7.1K in 2024. And there is a slight dip in 2025. As we notice in the patient demographics, we have a slightly decline in the number of patients, though that might have caused this issue. So we need to work on that and try to get the more patients, or we need to provide more facilities or patient care, or maybe implement some technologies. So that way we get the more number of patients. In the middle bottom, we have a doctor revenue distribution chart, which shows our star performer doctor is Ricky Lucas with the highest revenue, 3.6K. Next to that, we have a revenue by department, which shows the different departments are contributing what revenue, which helps leadership to prioritize the investment and support. So in short, this dashboard gives us powerful interactive snapshot of the hospital's financial health, and that wraps up my demo of the dashboard. Now I will hand over to the Avni. She will explain some business recommendation and the long-term strategic action for our strategic actions for our hospital. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhumika, for the beautiful demo. And now, as Bhumika said, let's look for the business recommendation. So to optimize doctor scheduling, we can schedule the top performing doctors during peak hours using performance and revenue data. And for the target frequent visitors and personalized care, we can offer the loyalty programs and tailor care to frequent patients. And to adjust staff based on busiest days, we can align staff schedules with high traffic days for frequent care. To tailor services to demographics, we can create custom packages based on patient age and gender. And we can use the weekly revenue trend to drive promos during slow periods. And we can also review the payment modes to improve flexibility and collection. So for the long-term strategic actions, we can regularly monitor and refine care and financial processes for the process improvement. And we can adopt new technologies like AI and telemedicine to boost care and operations for the technological integration and upgrades. We can use the apps, portals, care plans to enhance patient engagement. For the service offering, we can also promote the brand through marketing, PR, and community outreach to strengthen brand and market positioning. We can collaborate with insurers, pharma, tech firms to grow services, and we can provide the ongoing training to build a skilled and loyal workforce to employee development and retention. Thank you, and now we are open to questions.
Very good demo, guys. You know, background. So a couple of questions, like when you generate this, what you call data and data model, what questions came in your mind that we should add this table or we should add this data? Can you walk through how you generated model and selected the data?
Yes. So first we refer the project scope document that you have shared on the classroom. So and there are some KPIs also in that and the tables. So first we use only those tables, and then from that table we generated the data, and then we loaded into the Power BI, and then we like based on the KPIs we need to add some more columns for that, like for the weekly range. And so that is our starting from there we divide all the three different, because we don't want to keep everything like a revenue information and the clinical performance into the one dashboard. So that's how we divide all the thing, and that from there we added the necessary columns into the original database.
Got it. I like the overall your layout and color coding selection. So question is, when you were designing this, what you call Power BI dashboard, some of the, what you call visuals or some of the insight may be very obvious. Did you question that is it right or wrong? And if yes, how did you decide that it is right?
Like from the first thought that I refer your document, and the second thought, like what additionally I add into that. So for that I took a, like I thought as like what are the valuable information to grow the hospital revenue and the number of patients, like what information as a stakeholders like to see on that dashboard to, so that is the initial thought to
So
identify.
a lot of recommendation. Only you provide a lot of recommendations. So question I have is, how do you, what you call, give assurance to the business community that if they follow your recommendations, they will have a higher growth?
So the business recommendation we added are according to our dashboard. So we can see the analysis in dashboard and we can walk them through the recommendation to give them exact, like accuracy. Like this recommendation we can use and like that.
Got it. Very impressive demo and very impressive dashboard. Indeed, you guys did a good job. So congratulations to all Now, because we have limited time, I'll give a chance to our cloud group. I think they are tempted to go. So cloud group, you guys can continue.
So the agenda will be going through an introduction, our configurations, benefits, difficulties that we faced, and the demo. So the project we worked on was mainly focused on developing a Linux shell-based script file, which will automate the process of merging daily transaction files, grouping and summarizing sales data, and emailing the final report to the customer. So our configuration, before we started the configuration, we had to refer back to our Sprint 4, which was setting up SMTP and agent mailx onto our EC2 instance to be able to automate the email exchange, emailing the file to the customer. So we created 3 spreadsheets with data which contain the purchase type, place, and date. Then we used commands that you see on the left screenshot to merge all 3 files, then group data by its purchase type, place, and date. And the script will next generate individual group reports, calculate the total sum of all transactions, and email the report to the customer. So this is a SH file, the shell file that we wrote. So it goes from merging all .csv, that's datasheet files, merging all datasheet files from the little retail, and grouping all the purchases by type, calculating the total revenue, and emailing the report to the customer. So we did that, and we ran the SH file. That was successful. On the screenshot here, it shows the email that we received in our Gmail box. And right at the bottom, you can see the content of the file received. That's grouped in a date, purchase type, and yep. So key benefits here is the automation and efficiency. So instead of this will highly save time to every company or retail by automating every file in an SH file, so that whenever you run it or you schedule a cron tab, everything it's done automatically, and it saves a lot of time to every businesses. So we benefited also a real world skill hands-on with this Linux bash scripting and handling Excel file and emailing. So we faced some difficulties at first while trying to set up our SMTP and mailx. We spent a lot of time because we had to refer back to the Sprint 4, take our time to go over everything, and have a proper mailing server, SMTP protocol server running before going back to our Sprint 6 and doing everything else. So everything was successful so far, and now we will go to the demo to show everything as this. So I'll pass it on to Tayo. Are you ready? Okay, there you go.
Hi, everyone. I believe you can see my screen, right? So I'm going to be demo for our group, and pretty much like he previously said, we had a lot of challenges while we were trying to set up this project, most especially when it comes to the email server. And let me just show you guys a brief representation of what we were able to do. Currently, right now, I'm already in our EC2 server, and we were able to, the first thing that we were able to do was to create the CSV files. We have about 3 files that we had to create. I won't be creating them right now, but I can possibly show you guys the files that we created. Here's the first CSV files that we created on our instance, the second one, and the third one. After doing that, the next thing that we did was to merge all the 3 CSV files that we created. And what we were able to do was that we used this particular command prompt to combine the 3 sales days CSV files. After doing that, we got this right here. We say this all sales.csv files. As you can see here with the arrow appended to all sales.csv files. So moving forward, another task that we were given was to group data by purchase, type, place, and date. And then we were able to do that by using this particular command right here. I wouldn't want to replicate it here so that it won't be doubled up pretty much. And then we were also told to calculate the total transaction amount. And we were able to do that by using this command. This particular command to create the files. And right here is a file that was generated after we ran this command to calculate the total transaction. Now moving forward, we want to automate all these tasks that we were being given. In order for us to do that, we make sure that we created a file called the VI. Let me open the file for you. The VI process.sh. This file right here contains all the instruction, starting from the shebang and the instruction of what the script is going to run, how the script is going to pretty much run. Right here is the instruction of how we are going to mount the files. And right here is the grouping of the files and the total revenue generated. And right here is the setup of the email or the result that we are going to get once the script is being run. And here we have the echo and everything, and the email address that the script will run straight to. Moving forward, let me exit out of here right now, just to let you know that this script actually works. I would like to run the script real quick. The script that we created. Yes, well, the script has gone right now, but let me show you the results of what we got as a result of sending this script just right now. This is my personal email. As you can see, the time is 2:12 p.m. right now. And right here is the result of the mail that we sent from our EC2 terminal. And this is the end results. Of course, the CS file that was being created as a result of the script that was being run. Actually, we had a big problem, like my partner previously said, most especially with the email setup, you know, with postfix and with MailX. You know, we had a lot of difficulties setting them up, which was kind of unusual, but at the end of the day, we were all able to figure it out. And here is our presentation. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask us. Thank you.
Yeah, give a big round to this group. It's really good. First of all, you manage time very good. This time, congratulations for your time management. Questions for you. How you and your team plan for the project and divide the work among yourself?
What we did was that it wasn't like we actually divided the work among ourselves. We work collaboratively through teams, teams application. So we were the four of us were, working together, trying to find solutions to it. We were pretty much doing everything step by step together. And should the case we encounter any problem, we try to use ChatGPT, we Google, and we were able to, at the end of the day, successfully find solutions to our problems.
Very good. So while you were working for this project, like what was the moment that you say, man, we are not very clear how to do this? Any specific key challenge where you or your team struggle?
Could you repeat the question again, please?
Can I
Point
answer?
where you and your team struggle.
Yeah,
Yes.
we struggled during sending the email. So whenever we run the command to send the email to our Gmail, the command is gonna go through. We got no error message, but the email is not gonna. We didn't receive the email to our Gmail. So we figured out that the email server configuration was not well done, and we had to delete everything and restart the project from afresh. So we noticed we omitted some configuration files, the main.cf file that would miss some configuration in the main.cf file. That we went back to it, we referred to our Sprint 4, we configured the file properly and ran it one more time, and that's how we came about fixing everything.
Very nice, very nice. Perfect, good job, guys. Time management.
For being here today. I'm representing Team BA along with my team members, Amarjit, Avani, and Fifi, just 4 of us today. So for the agenda, today we will walk you through our project to improve the mortgage application process. We will begin with a quick summary and highlights and also main challenges that we have discovered in the current system. Then we will share our analysis, including pain points and root causes. We will present our proposed future state process, key improvements, and how we plan to implement and measure them using our clear KPIs. Finally, we will discuss the overall impact and closing with any questions that you have. For the summary, our goal is to make the mortgage process faster, easier, and better for both customer and the team behind the scenes. Right now, it's filled with manual steps and paperwork that slows things down and leave the room for errors. So we looked for a smarter way to do things, like using automation, connecting system in real time, and allowing different tasks to happen at the same time instead of one of another. So with these improvements, we are aiming to cut down processing time by 30% and reduce cost and make the entire process smoother and also more transparent for everyone involved. The main challenge that the mortgage application process is a lot of it relies on manual data entry and physical documents, which not only increase the risk of mistakes, but also slows down the whole process. Since the workflow is mostly sequential, if one task gets delayed, everything else gets held up too. Customers have a little visibility and with their application status, which leads to frustrations and a lot of follow-up calls. On top of that, if a process is inconsistent, different teams handle in a different way, so which can cause compliance issues and complicated audits. For my next slides, Avani will walk through the impact as-is process.
Thank you, Sherry. Let's take a quick walkthrough of the current as-is mortgage process to understand where the friction point lies. Here is a quick look at how the current mortgage process flows across teams. The current customer starts the journey with an inquiry, submits documents, and then waits, often without real-time updates. The bank front office captures the application manually, collects documents, and passes everything to processing. The loan processing unit checks documents, pulls credit reports, and forwards to underwriting, which reviews credit worthiness and decides on approval. If approved, the case moves to legal and valuation for due diligence and property checks before going back to the underwriting. Finally, the disbursement unit issues the sanction letter, verifies all documents again, and releases the funds. The process is linear, document heavy, and requires many hands-off, leading to delays, rework, and less than ideal customer experience. As a result, it is a time-consuming, resource incentive, and not well aligned with the digital expectation of today's customer. Now I would like to invite Fifi for the next topic.
Thank you, Avni. Now we're just going to look at the SWOT analysis for the bank mortgage process and application process. Now, with the strength, what we see is that the brands, the banks already have a strong brand trust, regulatory safeguard, a robust risk assessment, as well as multi-channel support, as well as large customer base, which is ideal for cross-selling if they want to sell more products. But however, the weaknesses remain that there's manual processes, outdated system, and a lack of real-time updates, and that are limiting agility as well as customer experience. While looking at opportunities, we can embrace digital transformation, AI automation, and real-time tools like chatbots to modernize workflow, and fintech partnerships that can also boost innovation. Lastly, we're looking at the threats. This can include the rising fintech competition, evolving customer demands, cybersecurity risk, as well as economic shifts like high interest rates. Now we're going to look at the next one. We're looking at the gap analysis for the specific process, for the mortgage application process. This will help cut the processing time from weeks to days using AI underwriting and API integration. The customer experience will improve with real-time updates throughout mobile dashboard and SMSs. And the legacy system can also be replaced through cloud modernization, while shifting to personalized loan offering using data-driven segmentation. And finally, operation can be efficient by getting a boost by automating documentation reviews. This action will streamline workflow and greatly enhance both speed and satisfaction. Now I'll give it back to Avni to take us to the next one.
Thank you, Fifi. Let's walk through our redesigned mortgage application process, now faster, smarter, and more customer-centric. Customer journey. Applicant starts via a digital portal to submit inquiries, upload documents, and track their application in the real time. This enhanced transparency and remove uncertainty. Next is front office enhancement. Relationship managers are supported by automated tools like OCR and guide forms, reducing manual data entry and ensuring completeness upfront. Loan processing units automated checks, validates document, and fetch credit reports instantly through API integration. Parallel workflow for the credit underwriting and legal valuation reduces processing time by 50%. Next is the credit underwriting. Auto decision engines quickly score the low-risk application, allowing analysis to focus on complex cases. Approved files trigger notification to other units, while rejection are routed back for potential adjustment. Legal and valuations. Team receives automatic assignment and reports are uploaded digitally, minimizing manual coordination. Next we have is the disbursement. The unit handles everything digitally, from sanctional letter generations to e-signature and fund release, all tracked and audited seamlessly. Overall, the 2B process delivers faster turnaround, fewer errors, reduced cost, and a significantly improved customer experience. Next, we have the implementation roadmap. Let's discuss the mortgage application process through cutting-edge technology and customer-centric innovation. First, we have is the process automation. The robotic process automations to handle repetitive tasks like data entry and compliance checks, significantly reducing processing time and minimizing errors. AI-powered documents analysis allows us to extract and verify information swiftly, enhancing accuracy and efficiency. Additionally, automated underwriting software assesses borrowers' eligibility rapidly, leading to faster approval decisions. Our next step is the digital forms and self-service portals. Online application portals enables borrowers to submit application, upload documents, and track that status in real time, enhancing the transparency and convenience. Next, we have is the security and compliance, adopted secure electronic signature solutions, and identifying verification tools to ensure document authenticity and reduce fraud risk. Robust data encryption and secure storage measure protect sensitive borrower information from unauthorized access and breaches. Next in the roadmap is advanced analytics and AI. By leveraging machine language algorithms, we can forecast loan performance, identify potential risks, and tailor loan offering to individual borrower profiles. Generative AI system automatically process and verify loan documents, significantly reducing the time required for approval. Same with the mobile and biometric innovation. We have to develop a mobile-friendly application that allows borrowers to complete the mortgage process. And last we have is the collaborative ecosystem. Our integrated digital platform facilitates seamless communication and data sharing among the lenders, real estate agents, and title companies, and appraiser reducing bottlenecks and accelerating the closing process. These innovations collectively lead to a faster turnaround times, fewer errors, reduced cost, and significantly improve the customer experience. Now, Amarjit will take over for the next slide.
Thank you, Avni. So here we will discuss about the key performance indicator metrics. Through KPI indicators, we can measure the efficiency, effectiveness, and customer satisfaction of the entire loan life cycle from approval to the rejection. So there are different performance indicators to measure the loan application process. First is average loan processing time, which measures the number of days it takes for a mortgage application to go from initial submission to the final approval. The good target processing time is 3 to 5 business days. Customer satisfaction score measure how satisfied customers are with the particular product and their mortgage experience with the bank. Satisfied customer typically ranges from 4 to or 5 point scale, whereas 1 point is very unsatisfied customer. Manual tasks eliminated. Manual task tracks repetitive or time-consuming tasks being automated. Manual tasks can be eliminated through credit bureau, CRM automations, document validations. The target of manual tasks goal is 30 to 50% of short-term, whereas 70% of automation for the long-term goal. Error rework rate. Measure the task or process must be repeated due to errors in mortgage processing. This might include mistakes in documentation, data entry, or underwriting that require correction and resubmission. Overall target is less than 2% error rate across all stages of the mortgage process. Cost per application measures how much it costs a bank or a lender to process a single loan application. Processing cost includes staff, salaries, marketing, and acquisition costs, software and system costs. The target of cost per application is less than $45. That's a solid benchmark to optimize further. Thank you. And I would like to call Sharing to please discuss the next slide.
Thank you, Amarjit. For the impact analysis, as you have seen before, in the as-is process, we have identified several pinpoints, which leads to delays, redundancies, and poor customer experience. For the to-be process, we have introduced smart digital solutions at every steps. Customer now can use online portal for sales service and real-time updates. Forms are digitally submitted and documents are scanned and also validated using OCR or any AI tools. Credit assessments are automated while legal and valuation tags are assigned and updated online. Sanction letters are auto-generated with e-signatures, and department now can work in parallel to reduce processing time. These changes aims to boost efficiency, eliminate manual errors, and improve customer satisfaction. And ultimately, this transformation leads to faster loan approvals, reduce operational costs, and seamless digital experience for both parties, like staff and customers. And now I would like to call Avani to work on value demonstration.
Thank you, Fifi. Let's see how our redesign to be mortgage process directly supported our key business objectives. First is the reducing operational cost. By automating routine tasks, we significantly reduce the workload on the full-time employees. We also cut backs on expenses like printing, mailing, and physical document handling. Most importantly, validations are handled automatically, which helps reduce errors and costly rework. Next, we have is the speeding up the processing time. The new process introduced parallel workflows, allowing credit checks, legal reviews, and property valuations to happen simultaneously. Next we have is the improving customer satisfaction is another key focus. With self-service portals, customers no longer have to wait in line or on hold. They can track the status of their application real time, and the ability to e-sign documents makes the experience faster and more convenient. Finally is the strengthening compliance. Every step of the process is logged with a digital audit trail. Documents are stored securely, and rule-based engines ensure decision follows consistent compliance logic. This means less room for error and stronger diffusing during audits. In summary, our to-be process isn't just an upgrade, it's a transformation that delivers on efficiency, experience, and compliance. Now I would like to invite Fifi for the next steps.
Thanks, Avni. So first of all, we'll have to finalize the process design by getting stakeholders' approval, then deploy a roadmap with clear timelines and assign responsibilities, then have technology upgrades that will follow and ensure that we have enhanced automation and real-time tracking. So at the same time, we'll make sure that our staff is trained on the new system and the workflow, then deploy a KPI dashboards to monitor performance and customer satisfaction. Next, we'll run a pilot phase to validate changes and get our feedback. Finally, we'll implement the full rollout, ensuring continuous improvement. So this will require the whole team to be on board to make sure that we collaborate and make the mortgage process smoother, faster, and everybody is happy with the outcome. So now what we need to look at right now, in conclusion, we have come up with that our proposed mortgage application process improvement has to focus on accelerating processing time, reducing operational costs, enhancing customer satisfaction, and strengthening compliance by adopting parallel workflow automation and real-time tracking. And we can deliver a more efficient and transparent experience for all stakeholders. And the success of this implementation will require a great commitment across all teams, supporting by training, technology upgrades, and a robust KPI monitoring system to ensure continuous improvement. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please let us know.
Well, excellent, guys. I think all of you have done a pretty good job. So first of all, congratulations. Give a big round to this group. I think very nicely you guys did. It was like a fun to watch your presentation. So excellent work. Could you go back? Could you go back to the to-be diagram in your process? Yeah. If you can highlight in this diagram kind of my mouse movement, and could you pinpoint what specific area of improvement you are doing? Because it was not visible because color combinations are almost same as is versus to be. So I just want to make sure I understand correctly. So which area or what you are adding here or changing here in this?
Yes, of course, sir. So from the customer's point of view, they are, using the portal and they are filling all the documents and application. Again, for the back front officer, here we have added the auto-prompted CRM engagement. And also if they want to assist, they can use the portal. For the next is the loan processing unit. We also have is the auto rule engine. Also we have.
Could you move your mouse so at least I can follow?
I'm not able to. It's it's a picture, so that's why.
No, you don't have to draw. Move mouse.
I'm moving it. I'm not sure if we are able to see my cursor. I'm moving my mouse.
Okay, I'm not able to see. Anyway, it's hard to follow like when it's steps. That's fine. So you are saying I'm just trying to understand. Like you are saying, I will introduce CRM. What else?
We have also introduced here the AI, the API pool. Also, we have added the auto risk scoring, automating notification to the customer if they got approved or rejected. Also, we have added auto generate sanction letters, e-sign, and also for triggered for the disbursement of the fund.
Very good. So now this is a good suggestion, but let's say you compare in the industry in the sense of market, and if you benchmark your suggestions or your improvement, where would you like you're higher in marketplace, or you will be below, or you are on at line?
I would say at line, because I do believe right now there are banks who are providing this stuff, with the application. I had a chance to talk with one of the stakeholders where she explained me how exact process is going right now for the as is. Yeah, so I took that thing and just use the automation thing to create the to be process. So I'm not sure if all banks are using the application or portal, or it's just few. So I would say not at the bottom or not at the higher level of the market situation.
So let's question. So let's take a question. Let's say current as is process is taking 10 days, just an example. What time it will take for your to be process? So current is taking 10 days to be process. How long will it take?
Our target is minimum 5 days, like less than 5 days. So it could be between 3 to 5 days.
Got it. So let's say if I'm a stakeholder, I'm let's say running bank, and you are working for my bank improvement process. And if I say no, could you do in 1 hour? Is it possible? And if yes, how?
I think so. For it to take an hour, that will have a different key players that needs to be in place. For example, I did my my home buying process, right. It took 30 days to closing, right. And the delay was not only in the service provider sending the information for the application, right. It is also about the approvers of the loaner who's going to give us the money for the home, as well as other parties. But if we have a process in place where we have all the parties involved come on board and tell them about the process, telling them that we have a deadline and these are the system that are in place, if everybody's aware of the system that are in place and they use them, so from the customer to the banker to the loaner to the home buyer, everybody is taking part in this process, we can achieve that. But now the problem is that the different key stakeholders that are involved in the mortgage purchasing of a home process is that there is delays due to not everybody knowing where to go to find this. But if we create this, we'll make the process seamless, and everybody will be aware of where to go, when to go, and that timeline can be achieved.
Very nice. So like example, and this is the question. So you are showing process improvement, and I just want to make sure you understand. You will have empowerment. Empowerment means you can bring people on the same page. You can change the process. You can use technology. You can incentivize them for speed. You have everything. Would you prefer to complete this whole process in few hours or few days?
Personally, I would have loved to have got into my house 15 days before the closing date, but that was impossible. So if I had the option to close earlier, I would have taken that. So
Perfect.
yeah, personally, I would have taken that here.
Very good. Good job, guys. Really good. I just only request is think this way. In your marketplace, if someone is doing better than you, then you kind of fall behind, because competition only the first person win, second or third doesn't get chance. So when you do the process improvement, it is incremental process. You may say like, hey, this is the incremental process, right? And somehow you need to highlight in a color coding or maybe rectangle block, hey, these are the change I'm making, because audience may not follow. So it's have a color coding or some kind of shape or something which gives, hey, these are the areas of improvement we are making. Second thing, you can say this is the phase approach. Phase 1, we'll do this. Phase 2, this. But our ultimate goal, from months to days and days to hours. Remember, you always need to push envelope, and you should assume and you should prepare your team for that speed, because everyone work for bank, everyone will be incentivized if they do speed and quality and communication. So you have been given that empowerment. Hey, let's work hard, let's work fast so we can excite customer and win the marketplace. And that is where you need to define. So phase approach and leverage people, process and technology for business process improvement. But overall, great work, guys. Great work.
Thank you for your feedback, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our WebQA sprint review and demo. Today, we will be sharing what we have worked on this sprint. So this time we have a project for Java SQL integration. And we used customer account lookup system for the bank as our project goal. So, meet our team. So Lawrence, Dana, Divyesh, and myself, Nikhil. So in today's agenda, we will discuss about which technologies we have used, what are our objectives, what is our feature highlights, and we will go with the live demo and what challenges we faced and what lessons we learned. So for the next presentation, I will hand over to Lawrence.
Thank you, Nikhil. Our primary project goals were to create a Java and Maven project that could connect and query a MySQL database for customer data. We also aim to develop search functionality for customer data, such as first name, last name, email, and properly display their associated details. Some of the technologies we used were MySQL Server and Workbench to set up our local database. Java is our backend object-oriented programming language. And while most of the technologies we used as a team were similar, some differences amongst our team members' development environments were that our MacBook users programmed within a VS Code environment, utilizing Terminal to help build their Maven Java application, and Windows users programmed, built, and ran within the NetBeans IDE. Our architecture includes a JavaFX-based GUI, a JDBC connection layer to interact with our MySQL server that holds our customer tables and data, and finally Maven to build our Java application with our dependencies. A software design pattern that helps with interacting with databases is the data access object, or DAO, which is used as a structural pattern to separate the business layer or the application details from the persistence layer or the database operations. This allows for a consistent point of interaction with the database across the application. The DAO helps facilitate unit testing of separate components by decoupling them from one another, and improves the scalability of the application through a simplified modular design. Now I'm passing it on to my team partner, Donna, to explain our application flow diagram.
Thank you, Lawrence, and good afternoon, everyone. Here you see in our application diagram, you see our end-to-end flow of the customer lookup system, starting with the user input at the GUI level and ending with the database retrieval from MySQL database. Notice how our front end is passing search parameters to the JDBC layers, which uses a prepared statement, a prepared SQL statement to guard against SQL injection. The query executes on our bank database, then results are streamed back to the GUI for immediate display, ensuring a clean separation of concerns. This modular design, makes, will make future enhancements like adding caching or new data sources more straightforward. We did add a little bit, the young people call it sauce. We had a little sauce, like Nikhil explained. We were just to do a Java integration with SQL, but we just went a little bit further and said, hey, let's put a GUI front end on it. So that's where we start with the user input going into Java FX GUI that Lawrence kind of explained some of those components. Next slide. Some of the feature highlights I've already talked about. We implemented the real-time input validation. We entered, empty or malformed searches to get immediate feedback, friendly response back. Our database interactions use JDBC, prepare statements, so that the queries are secure. Results display in a text area. Formatting for the customer ID, the account ID, the name, email, phone, and the balance. Comprehensive, I wouldn't say comprehensive, but we did do exception handling to ensure that the user sees meaningful error messages instead of some cryptic stack traces. And we can show you, I'm going to share the screen. All right, so like we talked about, we used MySQL. We used MySQL Power Workbench. We created our tables. We put some sample data into the table by using the Power SQL. Then we went to I use a MacBook, so I was in VS Code. And so I was using my VS Code, I was able to pretty much, do that prepared statement and connect to the database, do my search results, and then also put some of the validation in there. So this is just some code, probably not interesting at all, but this is just the code that was used. And also going along with the terminal you see on the bottom half of my screen, where it gives me information about it when it starts to compile. We put everything behind the try and catch block in order for us to do some error handling. So anyways, the terminal really works pretty good. It works exceptional in giving you, things to look like, giving you logs. And so I'm going to run it. I use a statement. I should have had that ready, so forgive me. I have to do a clean. There's a special command that I have to run in terminal because if I don't do it, the caching, and there's just a lot of things that can go wrong, being that, I use my machine for a lot of other things. So I do a clean. I always use Maven, and I always tell it, do a clean run. Get rid of stuff that you might had in there before. So I always use that in order to run the application. So I'm running the application. And I'm going to pull our GUI in front of you, so you can kind of see that here is the live demo. I launched the application. I wanted to show you how it works in practice. I'm going to enter a valid name. I showed you a little bit about, here are the data that we put in there. So I'm going to I did put my name in there. Just tell me how much money I got in the bank. Let me pretend. And so it comes back with, here's my ID, here's my account ID, here's my name, here I got $5,000 in the bank. So that's the GUI interface. Now we also built in, like I told you, some other, let me do a search or demonstrate where, I'm not going to put anything in there, and, they're anxious and they're like, hey, let me see. So anyways, we give a message back that says, please enter a name or email to search. And I know I didn't put Lawrence in there. He doesn't go to our bank. So he's not a customer. And so if we do the search there, it says no matching customer found. So that's kind of just, just kind of a little demo, a demonstration of us running our application. The first time, we were taking it incrementally. The first time I did it, all the information, or I was running it through terminal. I didn't really like the look of that. So I said, hey, let's just add some extra sauce and put a GUI in front of it just to see in real life how would we do this. Lawrence, if you want to start sharing the slides again, and I will bring it up and talk about some of the challenges we face. Configuring Java FX with Maven on Java 11 caused multiple build failures for me. Like others, I was looking at videos, I was looking at Google, I talked to ChatGPT, but it ended up, finally, I was able to resolve it by pinpointing that I needed the correct plugin version. Couldn't be using 9, I couldn't use 6. I had to kind of, go down the line to figure out where I was going to be able to get that matching compatibility founded in 8. So Maven's cache plugin errors require manual cache clearing. Again, it was, even though I had my POM file was right, I had everything correct, but it would still give me these compile errors. And I was like, what is going on? So anyways, again, doing all this research, I found out about I had to clear the cache. So that's what you saw me doing. I was like, do me a clean application run to force updates to regain a clean build environment. Ensuring consistent resources for CSS. You have to understand where to load CSS and what's the pathway, you have to find it. So anyways, it teaches the importance of strict project structuring, how your project needs to be structured, validation logics, just to reinforce, because at first I didn't have any validation logic. And so just putting that logic, in there for the edge cases, just that early user input checking prevents downstream errors. So next slide. Lessons learned. Of course, always verify the plugin, availability of, locking in those versions early, understanding you always going to run into this when you start importing different libraries and plugins, and, just those things are, you got to have time, because you're going to always run into that situation, especially when you're trying to use a MacBook. I find that I always have issues there. Implementing the input validation, leveraging Java's built-in logging for, the fast diagnosis, instead of the Slack traces. I was trying to use stack traces at first, and it just caused me a lot of problems. And just making sure that I understood how to organize and load in CSS under main resources so that they get properly packaged and load at runtime. So those were some of the lessons that we learned. If we had to, okay, and thank you. We had another slide in there, but I don't see it anymore, but that's okay. No, we don't have to. So feel free to ask any questions, or, we surely have some answers for you.
Your background, guys. First of all, access